is the blue. People saying the blues, the blue.
All right, what's up, man? What's up? Boston Blues, episode 2.
Yeah, so this is our third one total, and then 2 of the since we made it official.
Yeah, exactly. How you been?
Good, very good. I mean, same thing. I've been back in the gym now for a week. Took some time off. My weight's really down again, but I feel better, and I'm not sleeping all day like we talked about last time. It's crazy how much we don't realize how much water our bodies hold. Like from the drugs and stuff, like the insulin and stuff. Like when you think you're packing on all this weight and it's quality, take a week off from the chems and shit and see how much of it's quality and a lot of it's not.
No, it's very true. Very true. But you're feeling better, though?
Yeah, I'm not sleeping and shit. I know me and you talked about my blood work, which I know you said you wanted to go over on the next episode, but I started taking the T4 for my thyroid, and already, dude, I'm not as tired. I haven't napped at all. I don't know if that's because my body weight's down from like 277 down to like 245. I don't know if it's because of that or if it's because I started the thyroid meds. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a combination. But did you already start addressing some of the other things with the lipids?
No, the lipids, I already told you. That shit's going to stay high. Plus, dude, somebody couldn't pay me long enough to fast for 12 hours before those things. So I was not, I had some fucking fucked up fatty food before that thing too. Before I got work.
That
one distort how much that throws it off. I don't know how much it throws it off, but
it does a bit. The main thing that throws it off is lifting within 48 hours before getting that blood pulled.
Yeah, I didn't lift, but I definitely ate.
Oh, okay. What'd you think of the Arnold?
Okay, so this is a good discussion. So I think they got the top 3 right. I was Rami's impressive, right? He's always going to be impressive, but I was very kind of disappointed because they kind of hyped him up. And then when you had Chad Nichols and him post that they were working together, you kind of figured like, oh shit, this is going to be something crazy. And it was just the same old Rami that we always get. I think they got the top 3 right, but after that, man, like Kuklo in 4th, I did not agree with that, and some of the other placings I didn't agree with. But dude, I don't know what's wrong with some of these guys. Like, all right, so I think it's $175,000 if you win the Arnold, and these are professional bodybuilders. Like, they do this for a living. You would think, right? You would think that they would do everything possible to come in shredded, right, to be their best, but some of these guys just don't care. Like, I don't understand, man. Like, some of these guys just will come in soft, smooth. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's a combination, I think, of a lot of stuff. And I think, there's always things behind the scenes that people don't like to talk about. But definitely I agree with you. Bonnick was the closest to 100% out of everybody. Yeah, and then second, Dexter looked amazing like usual, but he's losing that volume, that 3D look just because of age. And then Bonnick, he looked better. Excuse me, not Bonnick, but Rami. He looked better than usual, but he's still not even close.
Yeah, honestly, it's really sad too because a lot of people won't realize this, but they'll Google this when I say this. Go look at Rami in 2013 at the New York Pro. That was his best look by far.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's fucking 7 years ago. So that this guy hasn't improved in 7 years and hasn't nailed it, will he ever nail it? I don't know.
Well, a lot of those top guys, I mean, even like, what's his name? Patrick Moore. A lot of these guys get with, super, legend names of coaching thinking, that's going to just, that's the magic answer, but it's not, Moore
was by far the biggest disappointment of the whole show.
He was by far the biggest disappointment. I think he needs to work with somebody, honestly, that really knows how to grow. Some of these top names are good to give you an eye the last couple of weeks, but they don't know the true stuff when it comes to the chemicals, the actual depths of things.
Patrick is best friends with fucking Phil Heath. Why doesn't he hook him up with Hani?
I have no idea. I mean, he needs somebody. If I worked with that dude, he would be an absolute freak. I guarantee I'd put 40 pounds of muscle on him in 1 year, and I guarantee it. It's just, it is what it is. You know who really I think is amazing, and he got very overlooked, is Max and Akeem.
That's what I posted about yesterday. That I tagged you in it. Max Charles was probably, him and that Morgan guy was their most shredded guys in that show. And Max actually brought his legs up. They're not 100% matching the upper body, but they're there. So I had those guys both I had Max ahead of fucking soft and spongy Kuklo, who got fourth.
Kuklo, like, his thing is he just has a little bit of everything. He's got some symmetry. Nothing's really off balance. He's got a good presence on stage. His conditioning's not 100%. I mean, like, he has just about a little bit of everything. But me personally, I like the look of Max better, and also Akeem. I don't understand. Akeem doesn't get rewarded very often. That guy is an absolute freak. But it's part of the game.
Yeah, I would say Akeem. You could make an argument that Akeem won every pose except all the back shots.
I would totally agree with that. He's like monsters. Yeah.
From the side and shit. I mean, from the side, from the front. I mean, from the back he lacks obviously, but still, I think if you win all the front shots, I mean, you should still be in the first call out. Yeah, dude. Like, back to Patrick Moore, because he's. I was following him, and I was like, I was expecting more, and when I came out with his flat legs, I mean, he looked like a classic physique guy. I mean, he was tiny. And then he made a comparison on Instagram, comparing his Olympia to his Arnold, and saying he looked better at the Arnold, and that it was like the lighting and the gloss. And dude, he put the pictures up together, and you could just tell he was way off, man. Like, he was way better at the Olympia.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's one of those things, he needs like one incredible off season, because he has that foundation of like a Ronnie Coleman. He has that bone structure. He just needs to slap it on, really slap it on, really have a deep off season. That's my opinion anyways. But
yeah, let's say if you did work with you, right, and you put on all this weight, and let's say you loaded him up on Lantis and growth or whatever, and he was willing to do it, and he would blow up, right, because his genetics are great. Would his waist be compromised, or because he's genetically gifted in that waist department, you think it wouldn't affect it? Because he keeps making these videos saying, I can't put on too much weight because my waist, and that's my strong point. Or do you think because he's genetically gifted in that arena, in that area, his waist wouldn't blow out?
He is so gifted that, there is ways of keeping that area controlled. I work with a ton of guys, and, blow them up, and the waist is still the same. It's just there's certain things you have to do to control that. The other thing is, and I remember Hani Rambod telling me this years ago, before, I made that huge jump and put on a lot of size, is I remember, I was worried about, putting an inch on my waist. And I'll never forget. And Hani goes, that's okay. He goes, would you like to put an inch on your waist, but we'll put 4 inches on your shoulder width, your back, your chest? He's like, because at the end of the day, even if your waist goes up 1 inch, your waist is small. He goes, but your chest and back is going to be 4 inches thicker. He's like, so it's all going to even out. So even if his waist did go up an inch, his upper body and his legs would be so maxed out that everybody would actually think his waist went down.
No, if he got bigger, I agree. But I think he's so genetically gifted with a small waist. I don't really think it would fuck. I mean, he might be distended while he's eating all that food and while he's on the insulin. But when you diet him down for a show and you pull out the insulin and you're low carb, I think that waist would be right back to where it is.
Absolutely. It's just the off season, you got to, that your tank is going to have to get, a bit, volumized. But once you come back down, your food is different, your sups are set up differently. The waist is still going to be intact. It's just a lot of guys don't want to get uncomfortable in the off season, but the off season, you need to get uncomfortable. Yeah. You see the guys back in the days that would really get freaky big. I mean, those guys were incredibly uncomfortable. There's a reason that, it cost them $150 to eat a breakfast at IHOP. It's because of their consumption. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, and what do you think about these guys like Johnny Jackson who came out of retirement?
I have huge respect for him just because of who he is.
Yeah.
And, I've been a fan of his forever. So it's my thing of saying, of course he's not at his best, but in another sense, it's like, thumbs up, like right on, man, because he's built such respect, with the fans and everyone that I don't mind seeing it. But of course, he's not going to be competitive with the top guys.
Yeah, but it has to bother him a little bit to just go backwards. Like it would be like you going on stage in 5 years and thinking you're going to be better than what you were like in your prime. Or let's say you got on stage 10 years from now, and you thought in your head, I know you wouldn't, but you thought in your head, okay, I'm going to look just as good or better than my prime. But then you get on stage, you see the photos, and reality hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I couldn't do that because I'm so OCD. But I think he's probably in the state of mind, that he's past his prime and he just did it to have fun, and he's a very competitive person. He could have been doing something with powerlifting and decided to jump on the show. I don't know. I was going to ask you, do you know if Bonnick is he still working with Neil Hill or no?
He dropped Neil a while ago because Neil was taking 40% of his earnings.
Oh, so that was true.
He was taking 20% of his sponsorship and 20% of his earnings from shows, which to me is, I've never even heard of a contract like that.
I think that's absurd. Absolutely craziness.
Well, it's absurd for a guy like Bonac that places second at the Olympia and wins Arnold Classics because he's getting paid a lot of fucking money. So 20% of that, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I'm just so like I've literally obviously a lot of people are going to see this, but I've literally bought clients groceries before. I've helped clients out with their like utility bills before. Like literally, I've done that. There is no way in hell I could take any money for anything. That's your job. To get them in that. I mean, imagine going to a restaurant and because somebody enjoyed their dinner, then you charge them extra. It's like, no, you already did your job. It's done.
Yeah, his thing was, I'm not going to charge you a monthly rate or a yearly rate, but it came out to ridiculous amount, dude. Imagine 20% of the Olympia, like what is it, 250,000, 20% of 250,000. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's insanity. There's just no way. I couldn't do that morally.
I mean, I know Chad Nichols charges 4,500 for the year. That's but he doesn't take anything else from your earnings or anything like that. It's
yeah, and I think that's more than fair.
Neil Hill is known as to be a slime ball like that, though. Like, so I'm not really surprised.
Wow. So who did Bonnick work with for the show?
Himself, dude. That's even more impressive to me.
That's fantastic. I
watched all the interviews. He did everything himself, and he just had his best friend look at him saying, "Hey, you either need to push harder or you're ahead. You need to slow down." But other than his best friend, they showed his best friend. He's like 130 pounds, but he said he did everything himself. So that to me, that's even more impressive.
No, I think that's awesome. What's funny is a lot of these guys, I guarantee, if they stayed instinctive and did more of these things on their own, they'd probably look a lot better. Because some of these coaches that are out there, not everybody, but I'm sure there's some of them that have to have it only their way instead of catering to the individual and listening to all of the feedback. I've seen, when guys sign up with me, they always fill out their bio form and put all the information and screen captures with their previous coach. And I've seen things where, coaches have said, do it my way. And they're like, why? And, the response is, because I said so. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
80%, I'm telling you right now, 80% of these guys, it's all cookie cutter. So no matter how their metabolism is, how much they weigh, what class they're competing in, it's all cookie cutter because these guys, they blow up on social media and they get all these clients that they can't handle. They can't handle all the load. And they just send everyone the same shit. Oh, you're dieting? Here's the cutting diet. Oh, you're doing a recomp? Here's the recomp diet. Oh, you're bulking? Here's the bulking diet. And it's fucking all the same shit. 80% of the guys do that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I could never do that. Like I said, morally and my OCD, there's no way I couldn't go over every tiny little thing. Like I couldn't, hand them something unless it was structured, created exactly for them. My OCD just wouldn't allow it. But yeah, there's a lot of that out there. I see it all the time. But yeah, as far as with Kuklo, where would you have placed him?
I would have had Akeem and Max ahead of him, so probably 6th.
I agree with that. Where would you have put Olivia Jr.?
He's a weird one, man. He's good from the front, and he was conditioned, but his back shots are a little lagging. I would have still had Kuklo probably beating Sergio. So I would probably swap Sergio with Akeem. Akeem got 7th. I would have probably had Sergio in 7th.
Yeah, his condition was pretty good, though.
His condition was good. So you could even make the case that he should have beat Kuklo. So you could have made the case that he should have been in 6th and Kuklo should have been in 7th. And I'm not the only one that thinks Kuklo should have been out of the top 6. A lot of people did. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, if they went strictly by conditioning, the outcome would have been different from 2nd all the way down. Well, not from 2nd. I mean, probably 3rd all the way down. But yeah, Dexter and Bonnick, were both close to 100%.
I wonder what Rami would have to do to come in and just obliterate everyone. Like, what kind of diet would you like? That's a good question. If he was to work with you, like, let's say you had 4 weeks with him and he was at where he is now. I mean, I think a guy with so much muscle like that, and they're obviously on drugs, they're not going to lose muscle. I would say deplete that guy as much as you can, right?
Yeah, trust me, these thoughts go through my head all the time. And when I watched that, I thought to myself, what would I do? The first thing I would do is I would have him fly to my city and I'd have him stay with me for the last month. Because a lot of this head game.
To make sure he doesn't fuck up on his diet.
Yep, 1 month. He would probably end up strangling me. He'd be like, who the fuck is this little midget telling me what to do? He'd be pissed. He would hate my guts.
Great. I think it would be great on your diets because I know you do like protein veggie. And I know for him, dude, he's not going to lose muscle. He would separate. He would separate. Dude, even if he lost some muscle, it would be good. His legs would fucking start to separate. He would, like, even a keto diet would be great for a guy like that. But, dude, these trainers, they don't really, they're like, oh, he's so big, he must need all this food. No, that's not the case.
Yeah, genetically, his body wouldn't allow it. Chemically, his body wouldn't allow it. He would not lose any muscle. He needs to get uncomfortable in the sense of being just depleted and flat.
Literally no pumps, literally no pumps in the gym, like nothing, just depleted, flat. And like you said, it's not muscle you're losing, it's just glycogen.
Exactly. And then at the end, his body is going to be a sponge for glycogen. And his body would suck it up. That's the whole thing, is getting him uncomfortable, getting him absolutely flat. I tell people all the time, flat is the road to pilled. Get flat, get uncomfortable, stay covered up. Don't care what anybody says. The only people that matter is, as far as opinion at that point, is your coach if they're watching over you, and the judges. That's it. You don't need to be showing your friends, people at the gym, nothing. Get uncomfortable, get flat, and then at the end, manipulate things very slightly. I'm not big on diuretics. I would never have him touch a diuretic, absolutely ever. The main thing at the end would be feeding him up, but doing it in a very slow process, maybe the last 3 or 4 days. That's personally what I would think, right now. But again, I don't know everything about his body.
Well, Chad did an interview, and he said he carved him up from 302 to 310 overnight. So
I wouldn't do that.
That's or in one day he gained 8 pounds. And then he said he brought him back down to like 300 for the show. With obviously diuretics and stuff. But like you said, when you're depleted, right? When you have 0 carbs, 0 fats, or whatever it is, your body does not need much to fill out.
No.
It doesn't. You do not need to load with like 1,000, 2,000 carbs or whatever these guys are doing. There's no fucking way. So I think that was a mistake of Chad trying to put 8 pounds on him in one day. I mean, that's insane to me, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I bet just with minor food and not playing with diuretics, him probably landing maybe at just 298, he would have looked way better.
Way better.
Yeah, but again, there's probably a lot of intricate things, how his body kind of clicks. But honestly, I think that is the main piece to the puzzle with him is just getting uncomfortable with getting flat. For a guy that's that size, him losing a pound on the scale is going to mess with him. His shirts fitting different is going to mess with him. I think it's more of a head thing. All of these guys, I could say almost every guy that competes today, if they lost, 5 to 10 pounds, they would all look bigger on stage. It's all an illusion.
The last 2 weeks, he should have went 0 carb.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he did, the last week, but, definitely the last whatever, like you said, if he came to me at 4 weeks, I would say, okay, you're coming here, staying at the house. I'm going to watch you for 30 days straight, and we're going to definitely get flat. But he would end up getting pilled. His lines would be way deeper. And then just adding back in food, in small increments, things would have filled out. Him genetically is not going to take much at all. I guarantee he could go keto for a week and have 1 meal with pancakes, and he would look insane.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little, like I said, you don't need crazy amounts of carbs to fill out when you're in like, for instance, I only do 1 cup of rice. I keto diet in, and then I just add a cup of rice to all my meals. So that's about 7 meals, it's about 350 carbs a day. And then obviously I do fats with every meal, but that's yet to fail me because all my guys come in depleted, you know what I mean? So it's not like, I mean, I had one client with a crazy fast metabolism where I never even really depleted him that much. But I think some of these guys are so worried about getting flat, like you said. I think that's what it comes down to, is feeling small in a shirt, not getting pumps in the gym, their friends telling them, "Oh, you're shrinking," and all that shit. Mm-hmm. I think it's a mental game, man. Like a lot of these guys probably need mental coaches too.
Hey, dude. I hate to say it, but yeah, I mean, I think that's we could go on that for a whole other podcast. I mean, I've seen guys that have worked with me and are extremely successful, and because I wouldn't give them refeeds because that's what they had last time, or I couldn't give them enough attention or this or that, they go and they work with somebody else and they look barely 80%. And some of them will reach out and say, "Hey, I should have stayed with you, this and that," and if they look fantastic again, that's great. I don't want to see anybody fail. I think that's fantastic, but I see it a lot. They need, kind of that mental coaching, You
saw that this weekend. I sent you screenshots of that shit.
I feel bad because he's such a nice guy. That guy really is a nice person, but
he hired me before you.
He
hired me before he hired you, but he just hired me for drug advice. Then he hired you for a contest prep, and you brought him in pretty damn lean. He just wasn't big enough, right?
Yeah. He just needed more time in the off season.
And then you started rebounding him, and I guess he got a little bit of water retention. Then he emailed me saying he wants to work with me again. And he's like, "I'm with Bleu right now," and he's like, "I'm holding too much water. I don't feel healthy." He's like, "Can I come back with you?" And I have the emails. I could even send them to you. And I said, "Dude," I said, "stick with Bleu." I said, "It's a process." I said, "You just got done with your show." I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks after a show. I says, "You're having a little bit of water retention because that's normal. After a show, you're going to have a rebound like that." Mm-hmm. I said, everything's going to fall into place. I could even send you the emails because I was like, "Stay with Bleu. I'm not going to take you as a fucking..." Oh, dude, I was going to tell you, which I don't care, dude. Like, trust me, I'm completely like different like this. I like when other people work with other people. After we did our first podcast, I didn't hear from one. Well, actually, no, he finished off his program with me. He just didn't renew. And then I saw a kid I was training. He hired you for a contest prep. And I don't blame him, though, because I think he wanted to work with me with a prep. I I recall him asking me about contest prep, and I told him he wasn't ready. And I noticed he just started working with you. I'll text you after what his name is. But the kid has potential. He's young. I think you probably know who he is, but he just hired you recently. He was
please let me know, because if anybody like they'll always tell me, because I do a free phone consultation with everybody, because I get a ton of those a day. And so I always ask them, are you working with somebody? If they're working with somebody at that time, I'll always say, okay, you need to go to that person and work it out. So if it was somebody that worked with you in the past or something, definitely let me know.
He had just finished his 12-week program with me, and he told me he was going to take some time off. But then I noticed he just hired you like right away, and he's doing a contest prep with you. Which, dude, like I said, I am all for people trying new ideas. He progressed well with me. He told me he loved the results, and I'm glad he's with somebody like you, and he didn't hire some jackass on Instagram. But what I'm saying is, it's not his fault. I think he asked me about contest prep, and I told him, I think I told him I won't work with you for prep unless you're with me longer, and because I didn't think he was ready, and I don't think he's ready for contest prep. But
definitely, text me just so I know.
Yeah.
But
he has potential.
Yeah. I wish I knew who it was. Yeah, text me who it is. With that other kid though, the one we were talking about. Oh, okay. But the other guy we were talking about previously, I do wish him the best. That's what happens when, it's mind-boggling. You have one of the top coaches in the industry, and because, I can't hold your hand enough, you go and hire a fake coach, and then you look a certain way. It's like, what do you expect? I tell these guys all the time, I'm not going to be able to hold your hand 24/7, but you're going to get top-of-the-line knowledge. So you can either work with me and get filet mignon once a week, or you can work with that guy and get McDonald's every day. I tell them that all the time, and I hate to put it that way, but it's the truth. It's you get what you get. It's sad, but I do wish the guy the best.
And who wants that anyways? Like, usually if somebody needs somebody to hold their hand, they're not doing this for the right reason. They're doing it for fame, attention. You know what I mean? If they need somebody to hold their hand, they're not doing it for the right reasons. Yeah,
just some people need, a little more, attention, and I don't mind that, at all. But some people just need, a lot more, and this is.
Well, you've had a clients, come and go too. Like Austin was with you, and then he hired. He's with Vu now, and then who else? That other guy. Oh, Jason Coley is with Chad now. But I know me and you don't care. We like when people venture off.
I don't care at all. I get clients from those coaches all the time. That's the way it works. These guys bounce all over. Me and Jason still talk. Me and Austin, we just talked earlier today. I mean, that's the way it is. I respect Chad. I think Andrew's good. All of us are great coaches. That's the way it is at this level. As guys are going to bounce around. So I don't mind it at all. And to me, I train literally hundreds of people. So, it's a revolving door. One person goes, others, so it doesn't really matter. One person
goes someone else, you get two more, people that hire you from a different coach. It all comes around, and that's why I don't care. But guys like, in this industry, if a client leaves them, they fucking go haywire and cuss the client out and say, what the fuck? And dude, like, that's not how you run a business, because, hey, I always tell people, like, you don't have to renew with me. Like, you could try different. I'll be like, hey, your time's coming to a close. If you want to renew, we could renew for the same rate, or if you want to go your separate way, that's fine too. I never put pressure on anyone to renew. It's just not a good look, man. It's not a good look to force people to try to work with you. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Yeah, people are going to bounce around. It is what it is. And there's so many other factors that you have to account for. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the coaching. Sometimes there's personal things that are going on. There's finances. There's lots of different things, and sometimes people just want to branch out to learn as much as they can, because they look at, this list of top coaches and they're like, okay, I want to try him. I want to work with him for a little bit. I want to try him. That's great. And like I said, I still talk to those guys all the time. I wish them nothing but the best.
That's fine if, like you said, they had a resume. But this kid that we're talking about that did the Arnold, he left you and fucking went with some guy that's never even competed before and looks like fucking shit. So I don't know. I know you saw the thread because I screenshotted it to you and you were laughing, but his coach wouldn't even respond and he tagged his own coach. Then he ends up firing his coach and he ends up hiring. I heard from a friend he ended up hiring Justin Compton like right after the show, which Justin is would be a great option for him. So I'm glad he stopped with these fucking coaches that have no experience. Like, what the fuck?
That's what happens. You're with an elite coach and you go to a fake coach. That's what happens. I mean,
because they offer the free prep.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I like the kid. But the main thing is that hopefully he learns.
He seems to be a nice kid.
And he continues to improve.
Yeah, he seems to be a nice kid, but he's a bit delusional. I told him he shouldn't do the Arnold Classic and he was going to get killed. And he obviously didn't listen. He did it anyways. He ended up getting 12th out of 13.
Well, hopefully, he bounces back and he comes back better. I mean, I hope, and hopefully that's a good fit for him with Justin. I don't know anything about Justin as far as
Justin's
coaching, but, yeah. Well, that's cool. The show overall, wasn't, that fantastic. You know who looked amazing? What's his name? Terrence. Is it Terrence Diesel? Is that his last name?
Austin.
That's his name. Oh, that guy looked amazing. He works with John Meadows, and I love that John, talked about how they didn't use diuretics, because I barely use diuretics ever with anybody, and the guy looked the best. Sometimes these guys are at 98%. They take a diuretic trying to shoot for 100% and at 90%. So hopefully, more people, because John is, super respected and is a great person. People listen to that, maybe try a non-diuretic route, because Terrence looked fantastic.
Yeah, so some people can get away with the no diuretics, and like I said, but I know there's a client that you work with that told me he uses diuretics, but he needs diuretics because he's a water buffalo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But I think it's all person dependent, dude. If you know a guy stays dry, if you know a guy stays dry, there's no need to use diuretics. But if a guy like me holds water when they eat fucking food, it's probably best to probably use a little bit of something,
Yeah, it comes down to person. I know who you're talking about, because it's like out of 270 something people that I train currently, honestly, there's probably about 7 guys that I use diuretics with. So I think I know who you're talking about. Well, and he has to use it.
He's your best pro. So yes, you definitely know him.
Oh man, but yeah. Well, he's doing. This is the most focused I've ever seen him so far this year. This is the leanest he's been this far out. He's been super good with his food. We've been talking every night. He'll text me every now and then and say that he's fucked up and ate muffins, and I'll fucking lose it. And then 10 minutes later, so he's been keeping me on my toes. But,
wow.
He's. I'm really happy.
Yeah, man, he has so much potential. It's kind of crazy how much potential he has.
Yeah, well, this is the most focused I've seen him, and the leanest he's been this far out at 14 weeks. So, I mean, hopefully, everything stays its course, and we do what we're doing. I believe the Toronto.
Okay, he should win that easily.
Yeah, as long as I mean, you have said it. I mean, I remember Flex Willer sitting down with him, in Japan, talking to him and saying, basically all you have to do is lock down, your food, control your food, and you will win the Olympia one day. Just control your food. So, I mean, he's getting better and better. The guy's only been lifting weights for 5 years. I mean, it's incredible, he's done that.
Yeah, you're cutting up a little bit. I wonder if it's your internet or not.
Let me check. Yeah, it could be something. I'm not sure. It says that the signal's strong.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of this shit happens sometimes. Yeah, I have full bars here, so I don't know what's going on. Because you keep freezing up, but we should be good. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the Arnold was very hyped, but it was also very disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy who won the Classic looked amazing too.
Oh yeah, he was good. I had him beating Terrence, but hey, if Terrence puts on 10 pounds of muscle and keeps that shape, he will definitely be a contender for the Olympia.
Oh yeah. That guy has such a great physique. I could see him going into the 212s.
Yeah, he only weighs like 175 on stage. He would need a lot more time.
Oh, he's only 175. How tall is he?
He's very short. He's like 5'5", 5'6".
Damn, that's tall to me. But yeah, wow, I didn't know he weighed. Wow, man, if he really filled out and got close to 200 pounds, that'd be dead.
10 pounds on that guy's a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If that guy put on 20 pounds, yeah, he could cause a storm. That's for sure.
Yeah, his proportions are pretty good.
Yeah, and who else? George, he's going to the 212s as well.
Yeah, dude, I think that guy could do damage in the 212. His conditioning is freaky.
His condition is freaky, and I've heard that he loses a little bit of fullness in his legs trying to make weight. So it'll be interesting what he looks like.
Like 15 pounds every on the last week or something to make weight. Wow. So now he doesn't have to do that.
Oh wow. Yeah, that dude's going to be deadly. Yeah, that guy's going to be deadly.
Yeah, like he has genetics that are crazy. And the thing is guys like that, like you said, I know he works with John Meadows. That kid is running barely anything. He's probably never even touched growth or insulin, to be honest with you. I mean, that guy is just a genetic freak, but he's small. So he has the illusion of being a lot bigger because he's genetically gifted with small waist, small joints, and all that stuff. But like you said, a guy like that, they don't even need much to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, his potential is pretty insane. Oh wow. Well, you know what's sad is the amount of money that the promoters lost throwing that show. I hope they leave Columbus and go to a different city.
Yeah, and I hope they refund everybody that bought booths there.
Oh man, what is it, like 250,000 spectators per year?
Yeah, and it's like $5,000 a booth.
So they lost millions and millions of dollars. And I've never been to Columbus. I heard, there's not a lot to do there.
The Arnold?
No, never.
I mean, I haven't either, but I'm shocked that you haven't.
No, because you remember, I'm always at home. I'm at home 24/7. Like, I've only went to the Olympia one time in 2000.
Now, if Dwayne, dude, you're so much like me, it's ridiculous. But it's funny because you have so many clients that I'm surprised. And dude, if I had as many clients as you at that level, I still wouldn't fucking go.
I don't. The only show that I promised Dwayne that I would go to, is the Olympia. As long as he qualifies this year, I will make myself go. I mean, I would have went with him the last time, but I got an ulcer from doing that, that documentary, that we did in Vegas, where Jay Cutler came over, all that. I got an ulcer from being in the house from stress.
Is that posted on this YouTube?
No, I need to though. I'll do that tonight.
Oh shit! It's not posted at all.
It's somewhere on YouTube. I think the guy who does like a lot of my video stuff put it on a different account. Yeah,
you should put that on your YouTube.
Yeah, I should. I'm just, like you said, we're a lot alike. I'm at the house and I live with my phone.
I have had clients. I have had clients at that level, at the national level, that have asked me, will I come to their shows? And it sucks because I got to tell them, like, no, I'm going to stay at home with my kid and my wife, man, because first of all, you got to waste money, coming out there, and even if they pay for your flight and shit, then you got to stay in a hotel. Then I could do my job better from the house. And it's sad because a lot of these guys love the attention, and they don't even need to go to the shows, and they go to all these shows just to be a bunch of groupies, and they waste money.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like when I did that last one at the USA's, that documentary, between Thursday and Monday is check-ins for everybody worldwide. So I have a bare minimum every week of 220 check-ins easily. So I don't get to sleep through that period at all, really. So I only slept 10 hours within 5 days. And then being in the house with all that stress, I got an ulcer, and then, it got a little worse. I ended up missing, going with Dwayne to the Olympia. I can do my job much more, efficiently, just being on my phone and being in my element. There's one thing, there's a difference between being with a client who's stressed in person versus, doing it over the phone. There's that separation, so it doesn't affect me as a coach. I put my heart in these guys so much that doing it in person, affects me, tenfold. So it's almost better for me not to go.
Do you go to the Oregon shows?
I go to only 2 of them because it's a close friend of mine. And he's a business partner of mine that runs my supplement company. He has the Mr. Oregon and the Cascade show. So I go there to support him. But those are the only shows I go to here. There's another promoter that throws some shows here, but he's just a complete scumbag. And his shows are, almost extinct now. So I don't participate in the other guy's shows. I don't even let my clients do his shows.
I'm shocked how shitty the Emerald Cup has become. That used to be a good show. Oh,
that show is a graveyard now. That show is horrible. It's just, that's what happens. I was telling people about this here in the Northwest, 7-8 years ago, and people would get all ruffled about it. And I was like, watch what happens. From the horrible judging, from treating competitors like crap, the show's going to end up rotting. And that's exactly what it did. It used to be such a prestigious show. Pros would go there just to be a part of it. They didn't even have to be paid. The year I did it in 2006, man, there was I think 10 to 12 pros there. Jay Cutler, Chris Dim, everybody. Now, they're paying a lot of money just to get someone in the door. It's just the show isn't what it was. And,
crazy, man. That used to be the best show in Oregon.
Oh yeah, not anymore. It's horrible. Well, it's up in Washington. It's 3 hours north of me. But it's sad because that show used to be great.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
There was a pro bodybuilder in Oregon. I don't know whatever happened to him. I think his last name was was it not? God, he was a big white guy, and he was at the pro. He was a pro. I don't know what happened. His last name was maybe Jewett, not the John Jewett from Universal, but I think his name was Jewett or something. He was back, big white boy. I don't know if you remember him, but he just
Are you thinking of Aaron Madron?
No.
Okay, because I think he was from here, and the other guy that lives about 20 minutes from me is Vic Richards.
Who?
Vic Richards.
The Black Vic Richards?
Yeah, freaky freak.
Dude, I thought he lived in Cuba.
I was told that he lived over in Beaverton. That's 20, 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but he trained at my dad's and my mom's gym for a while, man, in Northridge, California, at the Golds they own. Yeah, man. My dad said he never seen a guy with so freaky in person.
Yeah, I've never seen him in person, but I've had, people at my gym that have, ran into him and stuff like that. I heard he's just still a big dude.
Whatever happened to Gabe Moan?
Oh, Titanic?
No, is that his nickname?
That's his nickname to me and everybody else, Titanic. He's just big and he sucks.
Yeah. He does suck, dude. I remember when I did my show in 2016, he was like, bro, how do I do the keto diet? And I'm like, dude, my diet won't work. I didn't keto diet the whole show. You know what I mean? But
that
dude,
guy is.
You remember how many times he tried to go pro?
That guy definitely needs therapy. I don't talk to him.
Dude, he's been like married 3 times since like 5 years ago.
He's insanely delusional. He's a backstabber. He talks shit behind everybody's back. I was cool to him. He would sometimes even drive all the way down to my house to have me look at him in person. When I was helping him little bits like years and years ago. But that guy, yeah, he's really out there. He was got caught saying some stuff about me, and and I told him the truth. I said, this is why nobody likes you. You don't. His physique is terrible. He's one of those guys.
Matt Porter trained him, and then he blamed Matt like after his prep for why he looked like shit.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. Like the term "big for nothing."
Does he own that gym in your area? He owns a gym in Oregon, right?
I think it already went. I heard it went bankrupt. I guess it's up in Washington.
Oh, it's in Washington. Okay.
The only hardcore true gym here is my buddy's gym, Tim O'Malley. Yeah, Tim, close friend of mine. He owns a gym called O'Malley's, and that place is a bodybuilder's dream. If you ever come out here with the family, we'll go over there.
What city is he in?
What?
What city is the gym in?
It's in Troutdale, Oregon. It's about 15 minutes from me.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, Tim is just so passionate about the sport and powerlifting. So, I mean, as soon as you walk in the place, you can literally feel bodybuilding in your blood. Like, it's just insane. I mean, every machine has been catered for, certain muscles. I mean, Tim has just went out of his way for that place. Him and his wife have, just done a fantastic job. The gym is amazing.
Awesome. Do you guys have 24-hour fitnesses out there?
Yeah, we have a ton of different gyms. We have everything. Bally's, 24-hour fitness, LA, or
Bally's still existed.
Oh, not Bally's. I'm getting it mixed up. I'm sorry. LA Fitness. Yeah, LA Fitness, 24-hour. There's so many gyms out here. You'd be surprised, man. Like within probably a 10-mile radius of myself, there's probably at least 20 different gyms.
That's awesome, man. I wish I had that. I wish I could say that my town sucks for gyms. I need to drive 30 minutes to get to a good gym. So
really, man. Well,
but I just train. I've been training with Ariella at the YMCA across the street. But when I get serious about training, I like to go to good gyms.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully, we'll get you to come out here.
How far are you from Corvallis?
Corvallis, I think I'm just a few hours.
And then what airport would we fly into?
PDX to Portland.
Okay, so you're in the Portland area. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just on the outskirts of Portland. I mean, the city of Portland itself is 20 minutes west of me, but my neighbors, have horses, so I mean, it's just on the outskirts. But yeah, when you come out here, yeah, definitely have to stay for a few days. And
I was so close, man. I was so close to moving out to Corvallis in 2015.
Corvallis is nice.
It's a college town, but it's very nice, very green.
Yes, it's super nice out there. I know you would love O'Malley's too. Every single person that's flown in here and that's come and stayed with me for a couple of days or whatnot, will go over to O'Malley's. I mean, every person, it just falls in love with the place.
And that big black guy you train works out there, right?
Yeah, Maurice lives about 40 minutes south of me, and so he'll come up here once a month or so, and we'll go over to O'Malley's. And but it's that same thing, as soon as you walk in, you literally can feel it, in your soul. And then right when you walk out the door, every single person is like, oh my God, I wish I was here every day. It's just because it puts you in such a mind, a different mindset. As soon as you walk through the door, it's just different.
And he has a good amount of members, even though it's a bodybuilding gym?
Yeah, it's actually where you use the key card. You can go there 24 hours a day.
Wow. So does he do anything else for work to save up for that, or he just does the gym now?
Oh yeah. He has a really good job. He's with the union and works with. Yeah, he's got a union job.
Okay. So he's not just trying to survive on the gym.
No. Tim's a very smart guy. Him and his family, run the gym, and he's got older kids and stuff like that. So And then, the place is 24 hours. So, he's got cameras and the whole works. So, I mean, the gym is like literally just blossomed. I mean, it's just been crazy.
That's cool. Cause like these days it's impossible to own a bodybuilding gym and that's all you do for a living is live off the gym.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love it. I don't get to go there too often. But when I do, you could go in there at any time and it's packed with bodybuilders.
Oh, that's not
like
your main gym?
No, because I don't get to go to the gym a whole lot, because I'm always at the house.
I thought you said you go 3 times a week.
Yeah. I'll go over there, and then there's another gym just down from my house because sometimes I'm so smashed with phone calls, I only can get in like a 20-minute time. So I'll just go down the street and do a quick workout and go home, and then I'll go over to Tim's. Okay. So I just kind of bounce back and forth. But if I had more time, I would be at his gym every single day because I absolutely love it. And but I know with me, because you get that feeling when you go in, I would end up wanting to take things to another level.
Dude, I need a gym like that. Like when you walk in and you automatically are motivated.
Bro, I'm telling you, as soon as you walk through the front door, he has a small store in the front desk. As soon as you walk in, there's like bodybuilders leaning against the desk and like looking at sups. Something's different. Then you walk through another set of doors and it just opens up with every machine that you see in cool videos, like, back in the day with Ronnie doing these weird machines. It has everything. There's just nothing like it.
I gotta go. Well, if anyone's listening to this video and you're in Oregon, you guys gotta go check the gym out.
Yes. O'Malley's Gym in Troutdale, Oregon. Amazing.
Well, it sounds good. Though we could end this on a good note, and then we'll do the blood work on the next one, and we could do the blood work one in a week or 2 weeks, whenever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in closing, for people out there watching this, in regards to, researching, all of the stuff that's out there, definitely do your homework. Research these coaches. It doesn't matter what they tell you. They're regurgitated posts of just, dig into these people, look up their Instagram. That's where their resumes are. Look them up. There's a reason that certain people don't want you to go to their Instagrams because they don't want you to see the lack of what they're saying they produce. Check them out and do the research. Your health, your money, and your time is irreplaceable.
Yeah, and on an ending note, I wouldn't always trust their Instagram because there's a lot of guys using fake transformation photos too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do your best research, and at the end of the day,
I think the best thing too is asking other people who have worked with that individual, hey, how did you like it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, word of mouth. I mean,
if you like a guy's portfolio, if you like his resume, if you like his Instagram, reach out to a couple guys he's working with and say, hey man, I'm interested in working with this guy. Did he treat you well? Did he respond to emails, often? Was he communicative? Did you get good results? I mean, ask these questions because don't just go in blind,
Yeah, absolutely. That's a super good point. Yeah, absolutely. Reach out to their clients, absolutely. And anybody out there, you can reach out to any of my clients, pick out any of them on my Instagram and talk to them. That's more than fine. But yeah, bro, this is another good one. Let's wrap this up and then we'll do blood work on the next video.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do blood work. Sounds good, man. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, brother.
All right, bye.